Welcome to week 5 of our game day food and football series. This week we're going to make a sausage dip. Let's get it. Welcome back, Towners, to our week 5 of our game day and football series. This week we made some sausage dip. Very simple recipe. Very simple ingredients: cream cheese, sausage, and tomatoes. Here is a close-up of how it looked, or how it looks, I should say. And let's just get straight to the video on how we made it. Here we go. All right, Towners. To start off this recipe here, we have our skillet. We're going to add in our ground sausage. It's whole sausage now, but we're going to grind it up. It's a pound of sausage that we added to the pan over about medium-high heat. And we took out our wooden spatula and just basically started to break this up and turn it into ground sausage. Breaking it up and to get all of the large chunks out to get it as small as we can so it all breaks down. To that, we added in a yellow onion. It's totally optional. You don't have to add that. You can add yellow onion and or garlic if you like, or you can just add some onion powder and garlic powder, but it's totally not needed. We're just doing it just to add extra flavor to the dish. But just go ahead and brown up all of the sausage. Once that's done, we added in 8 ounces of softened cream cheese. Go ahead and mix that all in together with our cooked ground sausage. Once that's well combined, we added in a can of tomatoes. We drained the juice out, added in a can of tomatoes with some one jalapeno. We didn't have any rotel tomatoes, which are basically tomatoes with green chilies and a little bit of seasoning. So we just did it ourselves with a can of tomatoes and a jalapeno, added in some of our homies to it. Went ahead and mixed that in all together. And at that point, you're basically done. But we went ahead and topped it off with some additional cheddar cheese. Again, this is optional. This is mozzarella cheese. This is optional as well. But we want to get some more cheesiness into that. I just went ahead and just mixed that in together. This cheese mixture is very hot already, so just mixing this together and we'll get the cheese to melt. And at that point, let it simmer for about a minute or two just to fully combine, and you're good to go. Took it off the heat and added it into a large bowl. And this is your whole dip. This feeds a lot, depending on how much you make, but just that 1 pound of sausage and 8 ounces of cream cheese, this is how much sausage dip that we were able to get from just that amount. Yeah, you can serve this with celery, broccoli, carrots, anything that you want, if you're not doing keto, tortilla chips or whatever. But hope you guys enjoy this recipe. If you have any questions or comments, hit us up in the comment section below and enjoy. All right, guys, that was our video for our sausage dip. Again, very simple, very quick to make, made in less than 10 minutes. Just brown your ground meat, add in your cream cheese, tomatoes, or whatever veggies you want to add to it, spice it up. We didn't have any rotel dip, which is basically just tomatoes and like green chilies and some spices. So we just used a can of tomatoes and just chopped up a jalapeno. You know, we got to get our homies in there somehow, some way. But let me just show you a close-up of it. I don't know if you didn't get a good clip of the bowl, but here we go. Hopefully you can see that. Cream cheese, sausage, tomatoes, jalapenos, extra cheese. Very good. All this is able to be made, again, in 10 minutes. It's very cheap. A pound of ground sausage, $2 to $4, depending on where you're at or what brand you buy. Packet of cream cheese, 60 cents. Can of tomatoes, 60 to 80 cents, depending on where you are. So this whole thing can be made in less than $5. And this can feed a lot of people. I mean, you're not going to take big scoops and gobs of this, but definitely we use it as a great appetizer. So let's get into our picks, guys. Week 4, we went 11-5. The picks that we lost were we lost the Raider one. The Raiders game, we picked the wrong team. Both of the New York Giants and Jets games, we picked both of them guys to lose. Who else lost last week? Lions over the Bears. We picked the Lions to win that game. The Bears won that. And Cardinals over the Rams. We picked the Cardinals and the Rams lost. But everybody else we won. Everybody else we got. On to week 5. Let's see who we have going up. First off, for Thursday night football, we have the Rams and the Seahawks. This is one of the first games besides the opening game of the season where it's I want to say 2 good teams. Not necessarily the other teams are bad, but 2 teams with good records. Rams versus Seahawks. They play each other tough every time. Divisional game. Short week, so I might play a role into it, but it's in Seattle. Seattle always has that crazy home field advantage. But I'm going to go with the Rams on this, and the Rams offense is playing well. I'm going to go with the Rams. So Thursday night football, we're going to start off with the Rams over Seattle. And for Sunday, starting off early, they're playing in London, the Jets versus the Falcons. So make sure you're up early for that one if you want to watch all the games. It's going to be on TV, so it's East Coast is going to start at 9:30. West Coast game will start at 6:30 in the morning. So make sure you're up early enough if that's one of your teams or if you want to watch it. No home field advantage on this one. It would have been Atlanta's home game, but this is another game where we could have spun something, a bottle, a pick, or whatever. But Jets versus Falcons. I know the Jets got their first win. Falcons somehow blew that lead against Washington. But I'm gonna go with the Falcons. I'm gonna pick the Falcons to win this one over the Jets. Now back to the regular Sunday games: Packers versus Bengals. This is gonna be an interesting game. Joey Burrow is playing well. They're 3-1. If he's able to somehow beat Aaron Rodgers, they're gonna go crazy over him, putting him as a next new thing. I know he's doing well, but they're gonna put him as the next top new thing with the status of Murray in Arizona and Buffalo's quarterback and Herbert. But I'm gonna go with the Packers. I know it's in Cincinnati, but the Green Bay's offense is doing well. They're playing great again, except for that first game where we don't know who that was on the field. But I'm gonna go with the Packers over the Bengals. Lions versus the Vikings. We wanted the Lions to get that first win last week. It didn't happen. And Vikings, it's in Minnesota. Kirk Cousins is still playing well. Minnesota's a favorite on this game by a lot, I believe, but I'm gonna pick the Lions. I want the Lions to get that first win of the season, so I'm gonna go against the norm. I'm gonna pick the Lions on this one. Broncos versus Steelers. The Broncos 3-1. The Steelers are 1-3. If the Steelers go down to 1-4, those Steelers fans, I believe, are gonna go crazy. But the Broncos are getting to the meat of their schedule. They had those first 3 games, which against teams that were winless. The Steelers' record isn't that well, but I believe that the Steelers are going to pull this one out against the Broncos. But if they don't, they're in trouble. But we're going to go with we're going to the Steelers on the Steelers over the Broncos. Our Dolphins versus Buccaneers. The Buccaneers safeties are dropping like flies. They got another safety hurt. They just picked up Richard Sherman off free agency, and then their starting cornerback went out again. So they have none of their. I think they're down to like 4th or 5th string cornerback. Besides the new guys they just picked up. But I think their firepower is too much on offense. That offense that they have is with Gronk's went out, but they have enough to cover for that. All those wide receivers. Tom Brady, everybody. But I'm going to go with the Buccaneers to win this game against the offense. It's Florida series, Florida everybody, but it's in Tampa. I'm going to go with the Buccaneers on that game. Saints versus Washington. We keep picking the Saints to win, and they are just finding ways to lose. Washington's quarterback He's Tyler Heineke. He's coming with that Fitz magic. He's coming through with these last second comebacks and pulling games out of the back of his, you know, and getting these wins out of nowhere. But I'm gonna pick the Saints again. I think they have a lot on offense, but they just got to put it together. But I'm going with the Saints to beat Washington football team. Eagles versus Panthers. This will be a good game. It can go either way. Records, you can throw that out. It says Eagles are 1-3 and the Panthers are 3-1. But the Eagles have played. They played some teams tough, but they just didn't get the win or didn't pull it out. But that offense is playing well. I think Christian McCaffrey may still be out, and that quarterback wide receiver combo of Jalen Hurts to Smith. They had a nice touchdown pass but I think he stepped out of bounds and at the last second, but he barely stepped out, but made the catch in the back of the end zone. I called that back, and that would have changed that game around. But I'm going to go with the Eagles on that one. Eagles versus Panthers. Titans versus Jaguars. Um, Titans. Jaguars 0-4. Plus, they have that new scandal with the Urban Meyer getting caught up in the club with the girl dancing on him. I think that's going to put a lot of PR and a lot of controversy in that area. I mean, it could help though. It could make them focus more on football, but I think the Titans are going to get this one. Titans versus Jaguars. Patriots versus Texans. The Texans got blew out, 40-0 against Buffalo. But the Patriots played well. They almost beat the Buccaneers in the last second, but they missed that field goal. But I'm going to go with the Patriots. Patriots versus Texans. Patriots. Raiders versus Bears. Bears, Justin Fields. I think he's still at the quarterback, and he won last week, putting everything together on that team. But the Raiders, they were two different teams. That first half, they were the 2019, 2018, 2020 Raiders. A lot of penalties, a lot of check down passes to the running back for when they needed 8 yards, and they were throwing to the running back way behind the line of scrimmage and open people downfield, just not communicating well. And I think Waller only had like one or two attempts to catch the ball in the first half, but in the second half they came out firing like as they were for the first 3 games of the season and started putting it together, but it was just too little, too late. I'm going to go with the Raiders. Even I know I'm picking the Raiders every week, but this one no matter what, I truly believe that the Raiders, the way the teams are going around, I believe the Raiders would have pulled this game out against the Bears. So I'm going to go with the Raiders over the Bears. Browns versus Chargers. This is going to be a high scoring game, I believe. The Chargers, 3 tough games back to back. Chiefs, Raiders, and now the Browns, both at 3-1. This game is in Las Angeles. Browns have that great running game though. They can manage the clock and then get that deep ball if they need it to their wide receivers, Baker Mayfield. But Justin Herbert, he's doing very well. And got those 2 big wide receivers on the outside. I want to pick the Chargers, but I think that. I'm gonna pick the Browns. I'm gonna pick the Browns on this one. This is tough. You can go either way on this one, but I'm gonna pick the Browns to beat the Chargers. I think it's gonna be too much. Too tough game back to back to back. I think they might let up a little bit, but I'm gonna pick the Browns on that game. Giants versus Cowboys. They play each other tough no matter what the record is, what time of year. NFC East game. The Giants may pull something out of the bag, but the Cowboys' offense is firing right now. Dak is throwing the ball to Cooper all over the place. Ezekiel's running well. Cowboys over the Giants. 49ers versus Cardinals. Garoppolo got hurt. They brought in Lance. He tried to come back, but it was too little, too late. Cardinals undefeated, 4-0. Can they stay undefeated? I don't think they have any major injuries. Got those wide receivers. AJ Green's coming on from his injury from last year. He's playing better. Deebo Samuels is killing on the wide receiver for 49ers and doing everything in the round, sweeps, running the ball. But I'm going to go with the Cardinals on this one. It's in Arizona. I think they're going to stay undefeated at 5-0. Bills versus Chiefs. This is going to be a great game on Sunday Night Football. I think it's going to be very high. It might be the highest scoring game of the week. Chiefs offense is playing. Tyreek Hill, 3 touchdowns last week. Mahomes getting on the ball. Kelsey, the running back, Alaire is coming on. But I think the Bills have some get back. I think they have something to prove. They lost that AFC Championship game last year to go to the Super Bowl. And this game is in Kansas City. It's going to get loud. It's going to get crazy. The fans are going to try to break that decibel meter again. But I'm going to go with the Bills. I would normally pick the Chiefs, but I'm going to go with the Bills. I think the Bills have too much to prove. I think they want some get back from last year. Regular season don't matter. It's the playoffs, but they have something to prove for last year. Wanting to go to the Super Bowl. Thought that team was the one to do it. I'm going to go with the Bills on this game. Bills over the Chiefs. I might be wrong, though. And Monday Night Football, Colts versus Ravens. Ravens at 3-1, Colts at 1-3 in Baltimore. Lamar Jackson's doing everything, leading the team. He's a quarterback, so passing, but also leading the team in rushing. Hollywood Brown is catching those deep balls. The Colts, Carson Wentz is coming along. I think he had his best game of this last week, but you can't get Lamar Jackson. If they're down and have time, Lamar Jackson is either going to get it to the person he needs to get to, he's going to run it. But they do have a running back that can spy on him, the middle linebacker for the Colts. He might be able to help contain, so that may help the game be a bit closer, but I'm going to go with the Ravens on this one. So the picks that we have are, we're picking the Rams over the Seahawks, the Falcons over the Jets, Packers over Bengals, Lions over Vikings, Steelers over Broncos, Buccaneers over Dolphins, Saints over Washington, Eagles over Panthers, Titans over Jaguars, Patriots over Texans, Raiders over Bears, Browns over Chargers, Cowboys over the Giants, Cardinals over the 49ers, Bills over the Chiefs, and Ravens over the Colts. I'm already trying to pick the Chiefs again. Ravens over the Colts. So those are our picks, guys. Week 1, we went 12-4. Week 2, we went 12-4. Week 3, we went 12-4. Week 4, we went 11-5. Could have went either way again. Those overtime games could have changed everything. But hey, we're gonna go some different. We're gonna pick some different teams this week. Not different teams. We're gonna go against the favorites, what we think would pick, and just mix things up a little bit this week. But let me know you guys' picks, who you guys like, your favorite team, your game day foods, how you like this recipe. Let's talk some football. Hope you guys enjoy this. Let me know if you make this dip, if you have made this, what different things you can add to it, spice up a bit more. Should have probably add some crushed red pepper to this, and maybe a little bit of garlic. I think that would have probably a little bit more spice. But enjoy, guys. Week 5, we're out of here.
Enjoy. And please subscribe. Enjoy.
Hey Towners, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. All ingredients and directions are listed in the description box below each video. And as always, thank you guys for watching.